That's right. We spoke with a woman whose mom was here. She says she got care overnight, but then was released this morning. The good news is the bride's father tells us that everyone who was brought to the hospital has been released and is home tonight. The bad news is, of course, the day was ruined. The newlyweds have now canceled their honeymoon. They were supposed to be heading to Hawaii. Instead, they're waiting for deputies to get back to them about whether this was an accident or perhaps something more deliberate. This was the scene as dozens of firefighters and multiple ambulances arrived at the Country Fields Ranch in Moreno Valley last night. The most unexpected kind of guests at a wedding. The bride's father told us this was right after the first dance. Just before 8 p.m., people started getting sick, and he says within 10 minutes, they knew they had a bad situation and needed medical help. He says 35 people got sick. CAL FIRE says emergency crews brought 25 guests to the hospital, 5 with serious symptoms. First responders say they arrived to find people vomiting and nauseous. We went to Country Fields Ranch today and were immediately asked to leave the property. The bride's father says Country Fields is a venue only. Catering is brought in from outside. He says there were about 120 guests. All had been eating and drinking since the afternoon. No one understands yet what happened, whether it was food poisoning or something else. Hazmat teams responded to the ranch and in an online statement said they ruled out hazardous materials, but the investigation continues and the Riverside County Sheriff's Department is now handling the case. Now, thankfully, neither the bride nor the groom got sick, but the bride's father tells us, as you can imagine, she is heartbroken. She had spent a year planning the wedding, and because it happened when it did, right after that first dance, there was no father-daughter dance, no more reception, nothing. And we want to clarify that they asked us not to use the couple's names tonight, and out of respect to a devastated bride, we chose not to. We are live in the Moreno Valley tonight. I'm Lori Perez. Back to you.